We told over the story about Kamsa Uba Kamsa, a story that appears in Giti Nun Hey Amud Beis, and we asked what is the practical implication of this story for Hilchos Shabbos. The answer is in Mishnah Bura. Hilchos Shabbos, Siman Shin Zayin, Seif Koton Mem Zayin, says the Mishnah Bura. Even though one is normally not allowed to read from a list of people on Shabbos, because of Gzeiras Shitrei Hedyotos, this was not instituted on the Shamish, the servant. He can read, even if it's for Seudas HaReshus, not for Seudas Mitzvah. And the reason for that is so he shouldn't make a mistake, and a disaster, like a disaster that happened with Kamsa and Bar Kamsa, will happen again. So there is a practical implication to this amazing Maaseh of Kamsa Bar Kamsa. The Shamish is allowed to read from a list of people on Shabbos, even for Seudas HaReshus. And there are other two halachic implications that stem out of the story of Kamsa Bar Kamsa, not in Hilchos Shabbos. In Shulchan Aruch, Siman Kuf A Seif Hey, the Mechaber writes, Hanichnas lebayis kol ma sheyomar lo baal habayis ya'aseh. One who comes to somebody else's house has to do anything that the owner of the house asks him to do. The Biur Halacha adds that some versions have chutz mitzeh, except if he tells him to leave. And this is how it appears in the Gemara. The Sfas Emes in Tzochim Pehei Amud Beis explains. Chazal instituted this, that you should do whatever the Balabos tells you, except if he tells you to leave, after the Maaseh with Kamsa and Bar Kamsa, because the first time around when this happened, and the Balabos kicked someone out, and he told him, leave, the destruction of a base of Mikdash came about, and therefore, there is Rishus, permission in the hands of the guest, not to listen to the Balabos if he tells him to leave. In Siman Kuf Nun Gimel and Orach Chaim, Seif Tes Zayin, we learn that if a person made his house into a shul, he had some kind of a fight with someone from the tzibur, he can't answer on that person to come and daven in the shul, unless he says to everyone, no one can come to the shul. The Mishnah Bura Seif Koton Peiches explains that this is one of the takanos of Rabbeinu Gershom Eo Agoyla, and the reason for this is because what happened the first time around with Kamsa and Bar Kamsa. We were afraid that this guy will tell him, you're not allowed to come here to daven. He's going to be so embarrassed, so disgraced, and they're a big kilkul. Big destruction can happen, just like it happened with Kamsa and Bar Kamsa. But if he asks on everyone to come into the shul, immediately that person is not going to be so embarrassed. So this takana is a result of the story of Kamsa or Bar Kamsa. So we find three halachic implications to the story Kamsa and Bar Kamsa.